Hey guys, welcome back. It is time we're going to talk about scalpers, but this time we're going to talk about the real deal, the real thing. You guys might know my stance on the scalper thing, the oh no, the scalper, think of the children nonsense that we usually have to deal with when something isn't readily available on release day at the regular price. The whole 2021 thing that is kind of mostly passed in the English realm of things, at least. Japan's kind of a little late to the party with their 2021 nonsense showing up at the current time. So the scalping and or flip dipping newly released Pokemon cards has been, yes, it's been overstated. We've seen that song and dance before. If it's something that people are foaming at the mouth over, if it's not available, you got to remember, guys, reprints are bound to happen. They're bound to happen. It's a thing. We've seen it in action. Sometimes those are delayed, sometimes not. Hopefully the whole Japanese modern Pokemon card situation gets pretty quenched by reprints that they said that they were going to do. But, pretty much everything people were crying about being scalped to oblivion became available at a later date. And at that later date, people no longer wanted it. It does suck when you can't get that new release fix, release day or near release day when something's brand new and exciting. It is fun, I will say, but when either that or maybe you have to dial it back a little bit. So if it's something that you really want, something that you really feel like you're going to get maximum enjoyment from. You guys, do we want to go back in time a little bit? Do we want to remember Vivid Voltage? Remember how hard it was to get boxes at MSRP? I overpaid on a box just because I wanted to open it. I knew it was too expensive. It was more expensive than it would be in the future when they finally reprinted the booster boxes. I think now, even to this day, there's like ETBs just lining the streets that you can just pick up for less than what the current Elite Trainer boxes go for. So they might have went a little overboard on that, but guys, lots have been printed since then with the Vivid stuff, with all the other stuff that was very limited at the time. Packs are available at MSRP, and guess what? No one cares at this point in time. So why are we talking about this? Why does it matter? What is going on with Japan Worlds and the Spectator passes? As you've probably seen in the thumbnail and or title, scalping does become an issue when it's an actual event, like the Spectator passes for Worlds this year. That's the topic of the video. We're just getting on that. I wanted to make sure we make a distinct line between someone scalping, going to Walmart and putting some boxes in their cart and trying to sell them for more. I don't think you should buy from those people, and that's the biggest thing. If you don't buy from scalpers don't exist. The problem is people are going to buy from the scalpers because they don't want to miss out on something. In this case, if you miss out on it, she gone. There's only one Japanese Pokemon Worlds this year. There's only one. It's one and done. And there's going to be future Worlds events, but in terms of this year, that's it. That's all. With the Pokemon cards, the difference is here with Worlds, you can't wait for an additional print run. You can't just open a bit less and buy the singles that are dirt cheap, and they always kind of were in 2021. You're either getting into the event or you're not. So yes, you guys have permission. I think it's fair to be upset about scalpers in this instance, and I want you guys to let it out. I think this is a huge mistake that's going on here by the event organizers and such. So we have a little statement here. The Grand Poker Tour was making some posts on there. I believe they're going, and they were a little bit concerned that people weren't going to be able to get in. So people that already arranged that they were going to have that trip, and then when the badges take this long and they're not allocated to actual people that are going to be there, that are going to be attending the event, when that stuff becomes transferable, you're going to have bad actors. We've seen it with the people are going to have bots. They're going to have multiple accounts. They're going to have other people sign up for them to get these badges, to get into an event that they're probably not going to be there for. Do they hire people It's the same with the signing events and stuff like that. So they need to come up with some kind of plan that's better than what it is here. So we have 2 badges for sale here, taking offers. Highest is $650. So they don't even have a price. They're gonna scalp this bad boy so hard that they don't even know how much they want. We got $600 here, which is pretty wild. Here, RK9 Labs says, Worlds potential spectators, all emails have been sent. If you requested to be on this list, you can check your status clicking through the bottom of this page. If you don't see a congratulations message on the next page, sorry, you weren't selected. So I think the biggest thing here is just that you have to be the actual person that signs up. Your first and last name, whatever form of government ID or whatever you need to use to be able to identify yourself to get into the event itself. Non-transferable. If you want to make it refundable for a certain amount of time, this is not the case with what we're seeing here. This is the people that are, when they're selling it the next day, it wasn't like a oopsie doopsie, I guess I can't make it, like decent excuse for why they're not going. You got people here that are purchasing the passes, the spectator passes, in order to sell them, which is clearly what was going to happen. I don't know how they didn't see it a mile away. So for anyone who isn't familiar with the process, there's a lottery system for World's Spectator passes that has come and gone, as shown here. Yeah, again, it's a huge issue because people have booked their flights. You kind of have to book your flight. If you wait till the last minute to book your flight, maybe the flights are more expensive. Maybe you can't get a flight whatsoever. Same with accommodation. So there needs to be a better process than what's going on here. The demand is huge, is going to be huge. And I'm pretty sure even in the UK, it was gigantic. So you're going to have a lot of people that want to attend, and maybe it gets to the point that not everyone can actually attend that wants to attend in terms of like capacity, and they'd have to work on having more venues, multiple venues, bigger venues, whatever they need to do to accommodate the additional folks that want to be there, that want to attend. And yeah, there's a ton of work that has to go into that, but also at the same time, when there's people that clearly aren't going to be attending, that are either selling the tickets, whether they're going to find out maybe that they can't actually do that, as we'll get into in a second here. It's not good. It's not good for anyone. This kind of is going to ruin the experience for a lot of people. I can't imagine having a flight there. I was taking like huge consideration into to going to Japan Worlds. I don't think it's going to be feasible. It's definitely not going to be feasible at this point. But yeah, it's an absolute mess. I'm sure there are many procedures and things that could have been put in place in order to completely avoid this. It's not like a signing event where someone can like tag along that doesn't necessarily care if they get something signed, but are getting it signed for someone else that's dragging them along. Chances are someone's not going to go spectate, walk around Worlds just to also be there with someone else. It's kind of a different situation. I mean, maybe then you get more merch from the Pokemon Center that's there. Who knows? So what we're looking at here this is closer to what I would actually call scalping. This is basically concert ticket scalping that we're looking at here. And unfortunately, with concerts, sometimes they can put on an additional show the night after, that kind of thing, in order to accommodate more people, to put more tickets out. But that's not really the case. There's a certain amount of tickets that are going to go out and be sold, or a certain amount of places that can be taken up. And if those are just all purchased by other people that are trying to resell the stuff, you can't just have Worlds 2 afterwards. It's not how it works. That's not how the event runs. It's a one and done competition, one and done event. So the passes, as we'll see here in a couple of the conversations, require that you are present to transfer them. You have to be in Japan at the time, at the event, in order to transfer your pass to somebody else, which is also not a great system. That's not a great system because the people that actually just all of a sudden, if something, family emergency, medical emergency, whatever kind of emergency happens and they can't make it to an event, then how are they going to travel to Japan or be there to transfer a ticket? And it also seems like some of the scalpers didn't know or take that into consideration when they were buying up these tickets. And we know it's not that, because there's no one that's just like the next day after purchasing a ticket has to sell it. Chances are the vast majority of the people that are selling these right now were purchasing them for the sole purpose of flipping these bad boys. So not only are the abroad ticket resellers already hitting the market, we have some flipper dippers in Japan as well, which isn't really surprising in this day and age. We've seen the same madness there with the fighting over promos in the store, with the breaking into stores and stealing Pokemon cards, with the huge lineups, all of it. We've seen and the scams, the reseals that are kind of all over the place now. Again, when there's money involved, people are gonna get in there. They're gonna get their dick wet with whatever method of flipping or stealing or whatever happens. You're gonna get the bad actors involved, and it's a shame where something like this, like an event, can be. It looks like it's gonna be ruined for a lot of people before it even can have a chance to begin, which is it's pretty sad. It's sad to see. So. Again, I really don't understand how the event organizers didn't see this whole mess coming from a mile away beforehand. To have something in place where you have to, if you buy a ticket, you have your name on the ticket, you do not transfer the ticket. Maybe there's a little leeway where you can be like, hey, I can't make it, and they can put that ticket back up on the market or give it to the next available person. But it would have to be done through them and not transferred. So let's take a look through here, and then we're going to talk about how I think this is going to breed a whole ton. This is going to be scam city, scam central. I'm going to end up with so many DMs over people scammed over this crap. It's going to be ridiculous. I'm going to have to clear them out. I'm going to have to get 2 or 3 more secretaries, and that's what it comes down to. So we have here Grand Poker Tour also commented, said scalping is occurring in Japan as well. 120,000 yen for one spectator badge. The actual amount, or the amount that they paid for it, is 2,000 yen. So the old 60x multiplier mega flip, and there's the incentive. That's all you need to know for why this was just a terrible system, a terrible setup from the get-go. And I will thank Tanito for bringing this whole situation to my attention, I guess before anyone else did. I did have a couple other people mention it, ask if I was going to make a video on it. I'm sure I have some other DMs. I'm way behind on those. Thank you to everyone that keeps an eye on this stuff and sends me both video ideas, topics, and some stuff to kind of help you guys get the information in front of you. And again, I guarantee this is going to end up in some scams. There's going to be scams. There is absolutely going to be scams. There's going to be people that are letting on that they have tickets when they do not. You're going to have people that are not going to show up in order to transfer the tickets, whether it's because they can show up or they don't want to show up because they don't have tickets whatsoever, or maybe they're from out of the country and they didn't take that into consideration when they bought the tickets themselves. And then you're gonna have those sketchdog 69s that are gonna steal deposits and or full payments from people. They're either gonna sell it to multiple people, claiming that they're gonna meet them there and transfer the ticket to them, or they just don't have one to begin with, and they're gonna be taking people's money. And people are gonna be desperate. People are desperate because they've already booked stuff. They've already maybe booked a hotel, flights, whatever they booked, and they have no other option. And this is where it's kind of a shame on the event organizers for not having a better system in place to avoid this stuff. Surely there are methods that can be put in place here to make sure that these things are not being resold. You just have to make them non-transferable. It's kind of all there is to it. Or if you do make them transferable, then it has to be done in an official manner through them, in which case you can make sure that people aren't paying extra for it. You'd have to basically make it so that you can't transfer it to somebody that you know, or that you're trying to transfer it to, so you don't have any little under the table jimmies that are handing some money over so that someone can pay the regular price through the regular system. So we got a nice little translation. We got translated from Japanese by Google. By the way, spectator badges and entrance to the WCS Pokemon Center merchandise are also included. So I'll sell one badge for 120,000 DM Kina. So, oh man, this is dumb. This is absolutely dumb. And again, this is only going to result in bad things. We have a ton of people that are upset, that have purchased accommodations and or travel, and from start to finish, we got people just roasting, just absolutely livid. And I can't really blame them. I would be in the same boat if I was still planning on attending. Man, I don't know how they're gonna fix this at this point, because like how at this point do you sift through and find out who's really going and who's not going? This was all stuff that needed to be put into place beforehand, because now the people that did win that are legitimate, you don't want to punish them by redoing the whole thing. I have no idea how you fix this at this point. I think they shit their pants and they just put another pair of pants on, but the shit is still going to find its way out of the pants. You have to just not shit your pants from the beginning. I think that's what it comes down to. I have no idea. If anyone has any ideas of how they could possibly fix this, you put more thought into it than I have, because I don't see it. I have no idea. All right. Then we have some, like, I guess, a side event that people are looking at organizing, which is sad in itself, because there probably will be a bunch of people that don't end up going. There's going to be a bunch of people that they get ripped off and that show up there and don't actually have access to the event itself. Man, what an absolute mess. What a mess. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully, I don't know how to advise or what to advise. Just be very careful if you're in a spot where you're going to the event and you need to purchase your spectator badge because you didn't win one in the lottery system. Just be very careful, because there's going to be some bad actors. I can guarantee it. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Look out for each other out there. You guys take care. Join the Discord. See you next time. Bye.